Thanks for joining me again. I got quite a few comments from my last video, and I'm pleasantly surprised because I'm thankful that something I said helped in any way, shape, or form. I think it does help us to know that we're all going through struggles, our own struggles. We're all being, sometimes feel like you're being attacked, and you are being attacked. You're being buffeted by the enemy, and it's unfair at times. It's definitely unfair. And sometimes when you're, like the word says, to turn the other cheek, it doesn't seem, you don't seem justified. There's no justification in that. You don't feel any type of satisfaction in that because it feels like the other party or parties are wronging you and they're being allowed to get away with it. The one thing we have to remember is that the Lord is in control, and that what did it say in His Word? That vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So He's the one that will repay people for their wrongs. He sees what they're doing to us, or what they've done to us, and He'll put a stop to it. The children of Israel were slaves in Egypt for about 400 years before and their cry came up to the Lord. So it's not that He didn't hear them, He didn't see what they were going through, because He did send Moses, and He said, I've heard their cry has come up to me, and I've heard their cry, and He sent them a deliverer, to deliver them out of the hand of Pharaoh. So whatever Pharaoh you're dealing with, because that's often when I equate one of the individuals who's like that thorn in my side, I equate them to Pharaoh, and I often thank the Lord for releasing me from the hand of Pharaoh and out of the land of Egypt, the land of bondage. Egypt represents, in that story, the story of Joseph, the pit part of the story, that was bondage, and not just Joseph's. I'm tired, so I'm jumping back, but I meant the children of Israel being in slavery. That was their bondage, and the Lord delivered them out of that bondage. And not part of the way where Pharaoh wanted to say, well, let them, you go to the wilderness and worship your God, but then you have to come back here. The Lord gave them total deliverance, total freedom, total victory. He set them free. And then He didn't just send them out empty-handed. He blessed them on the way out and made their enemies bless them, and then destroyed their enemies right in front of their face. And I don't know about you, like how bad do you want to see your enemy suffer, enemies suffer? There have been times where I have been so angered that I never have wanted anyone to die. I've never been to that point where I wanted someone to die. But Lord, I want them to feel what they make me feel. I want them to, that pain, the agony and stuff that they put me through, the frustration, the heartache. Sometimes people will work your nerves so much, get that one last nerve hanging on there by a thread, and they'll work it so much that you just want to say, shut up, and I did that just recently. I finally blew my top, and I couldn't hold my tongue anymore. And I cursed out. I don't use profanity, but I finally spoke on my mind, and I'm tired of walking on eggshells, and it's frustrating. You just get to that point where enough is enough. And you do have a right to speak up for yourself. You do have a right. After I went through the domestic violence situation, I was quiet as a mouse. I went back the other way. I used to be more bolder, more assertive. And then after I went through that situation, then it caused me to close up and then not feel like I had a right to defend myself. When I did have a right to defend myself for sake of keeping the peace and not arguing, I didn't say anything. I would just let stuff slide, and then go and fuss and complain and get it all out. And then this person is, I heard in a sermon, my sister told me about a sermon. You're mad at someone, and they're all happy. They're all sitting at In-N-Out enjoying a hamburger and a shake, and you're frustrated and blowing your top, and fumes are coming out of your ears. Well, I'm adding that part, but fumes. I've had the fumes were coming out of my ears last week. One day last week, I was so mad. I literally wanted to just... When I talked about hitting somebody upside the head yesterday, I meant it. Some days you feel like that. People will just work you to no end. And one thing, I keep saying people, but we do have to remember too that people can be used as the pawns of the enemy. Demon spawns, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously. We're either yielded to one of two beings, God or the devil. And devil's not omnipresent. He can't be everywhere at once, but he does have imps. He has demons that do his bidding. And the scripture that I'm referring to and leading to this, I'm not into New Age stuff. I'm not saying any of that at all. I'm speaking Bible here. That this is the scripture I'm trying to say. Let me just spit it out. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities, rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. I probably said that out of order, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So we are not wrestling with flesh and blood. I'm going to watch my speed. It's all I need is a ticket, but we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, and I always have to remind myself of that. And this person that's been working my nerves is not a Christian. And some days I just have to say, Lord, help me. Keep me from hating this person. But at a time there was more than one person, and I have to remember too that I've upset people, and I'm not Miss Perfect, so I've upset people too. So I have to ask myself, how have people felt about me? How have I treated people? Are they looking at me like that? Is there somebody that I'm supposed to go to and apologize for my behavior? My lack of doing something? Was there something that I was remiss in doing and it caused this person hurt or pain or anger or frustration? And what do I need to do to fix that? Help me to fix that. And in the case of this other situation, I'm like, Lord, help me. My sister and I laugh because we both are getting worked by the same person. And we're just like, what, Lord, help us. Like, help us not to hate this person. When the phone rings and I say their number, I get mad. I get so mad. I don't even want to answer the phone. Then if you don't answer the phone, why did you answer your phone? And blow up the phone 100 times. I want you to jump over backwards to do stuff for them, but when you ask for some stuff to be done, for sacrifices to be made, they're nowhere to be found. They have every 1,010,000 reasons, 101 reasons why they can't help. Yet they want you to drop everything you're doing, bend over backwards, jump hurdles and flips and through flaming hoops to get stuff done for them. So, but the other point, thank you, Lord, for reminding me of this. I'm going to cut it off soon. I'm driving and burning up. I want to turn my air conditioning on, but I want you to be able to hear me. I can't run the windows down. Why? It's like so hot. I know it's supposed to be cold in the next couple days or so. I'm going to do another video about the weird stuff going on here in California. Not weird, because earthquakes are typical, but I don't know. We didn't really have a real winter here, but let me get back to the subject. Okay, so this person that I'm talking about is not saved. They're not a Christian. And I profess the name of Christ. And they're watching. They're watching. And the person has apologized and said, I know I'm hard to get along with, But, and I love, we love this person. My sister and I love this person. And you might love the people that are working your nerves. But, remember, they're being used, and we can't totally use that as a scapegoat and say, well, it's not their fault, because yes, they do have a choice of who they're going to serve, so they do have that choice. I'm not letting people off the hook. Please don't get that message. But this person is watching, and in the end, the bottom line is, I want them to be saved. I want them to know Jesus. They've had plenty of opportunities, but sometimes they'll look at you before they'll look at anyone else, even though they're upsetting you. And maybe it's a test. Maybe these are tests that the Lord is giving us because He knows that we can handle it. And I know, was it Paul that talked about the enemies? There was a messenger of Satan that was sent to buffet him. And they're sent. Sometimes they're sent on assignment. Great. I'm just looking at the freeway. I'm going to be running into some major traffic, and I don't have my girls with me to ride in the commuter lane. But anyway, sorry guys. It's so easily distracted. That's how life is. You're set on course, you're on a mission for the Lord. You see some type of distraction. Next thing you know, you're off track. You're totally off focus, and then you're off on some tangent, far away from what He's called you to do. But that's just the greatest thing about our God. He's so loving and gracious and merciful to let us back on track. Like if you're on a ride or something, get off the ride, and then there's this little side entrance. So open it back up and come on in. You can come back in, but don't use that grace as a license to do wrong, to sin, to do what you want to do. Okay guys, I'm going to cut it off here, but this is helping me, because I've really been dealing with this. Like, when I was married, the marriage was like a lot of arguing and confusion, and I'm not that. I don't like arguing and stuff. I love peace. I I'm a quiet kind of reserved kind of person, and I don't like to have all that. I don't like animosity. I hate animosity. It makes me nervous and jittery, and I can't stand it. I distance myself as far away from that as I can. So if I'm going to leave a marriage where I was beaten and, you know, there was some verbal abuse and stuff, then why am I don't have to live with that a lifetime, you know. That's the way I look at it. Life is short. You only live once. And life is too short. There's too much work to be done for me to be dealing with foolishness and stuck with people's hang-ups. Because we all have them. I got my own hang-ups to deal with, so let alone to put up with someone else's foolishness, their mistreatment of you. We're children of the King. And we do have a right to be treated a certain way. I'm sorry, I had to turn my ear on and burn it up. We do have a right to be treated a certain way, to be talked to a certain way. Especially if we're extending our graces and our courtesy to someone else. But thank you, Lord, for that too, because this is one way that I was able to forgive another individual who really hurt me so bad. My ex-husband. There was a point where I literally felt like I hated him, and I told him that. I said, I hate you. And, you know, God forgive me. I apologize to the Lord for that. I repented of that. And I've since repented to him, like last time I saw him, after the abusive episode. But I did tell him I haven't had a chance to forgive him, and I genuinely forgave him. Sometimes anger still pops up for different things. And then I wonder, Lord, I thought I forgave him, but I've heard that forgiveness comes in layers, like an onion. It can come in layers. And so, you just have to, this is the thing that I asked the Lord to help me with as far as that. Maybe I need to do that again. Lord, help me to love this person with the love that you have shown me. Lord, help me to forgive this person with the grace that you have forgiven me, the same forgiveness that you've extended to me. Impart that to me, and I kid you not, he gave that to me. It took some time, but he gave that to me. And now, I wish my ex-husband all the best, but God has a new life for me. And it's a life that's free from I'm not saying, this is not a utopian world, so there's always going to be problems, there's no perfect marriage, but I don't have to be in any type of relationship, sibling, anything, work relationship, hostile environment. I have the right to be free from a hostile environment. Anything remotely seems like it's going to threaten that, you can distance yourself. You don't have to be in that. God has freed us from the bondage of sin and those types of things. No one has the right to put that bondage on us and that slavery on us. So remember that, and I hope that this has helped somebody. It's helping me. I'm not saying this is the right answer. I have all the answers. I'm just kind of sharing some things that the Lord is putting on my spirit. So with that, God bless you guys. Peace be with you. And I guess I got time to vlog. If I'm going to be stuck in traffic, I got a little time to vlog. Just going to make the best of a bad situation. That's what I'm learning with life. Make the best of it no matter what it is. Traffic, no matter what it is. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I'm going to come talk about wisdom. A couple other subjects I'm going to talk to you guys about. Just how the Lord showed me about wisdom. Opening up the window to wisdom to start your day. I'll explain what I mean by that. God bless you guys. Jesus died for us so that we could live with him forever. Consider giving your life to him today if you already have it. Take care.